Hey everybody, it's Jessica, the Nomadic Owl Oracle, and I'm here to do a general reading for the new moon in Libra on October the 6th of 2021. This is not going to resonate for everybody because it's for the collective and whoever needs to hear it the most at this time. So with all of my readings, please keep in mind that it can resonate at any time. If it does resonate, then it's for you whenever because timing is always fluid with my readings. Another thing is I read based on energies, not on sexes, so keep that in mind. And there might be a chance that I cuss. So if you don't like cuss words, I would highly suggest to go ahead and click off of this video. So Libra is an energy that is very grounded, very balanced, very stable, very in their mind. It's a type of energy that wants to bring justice, that wants to bring fairness, that wants to bring relationships to a equilibrium of balance and situations to balance where there may not have been any. So the fact that we're having a new moon in Libra, which we're in Libra season right now, is going to indicate that right now it's going to be heavily highlighting relationships. Whether they're working, whether they're giving you what you need in return, or whether you're giving too much or where you're taking too much, whatever the case may be, those type of situations are going to be highlighted. It doesn't have to be just love relationships. This is relationships in general. So sorry, my hair is crazy. This could be like family relationships, work relationships, friendships, things like that. So right now that is heavily highlighted. And if there are situations and circumstances and relationships that you're involved in right now that are not meeting your expectations or that are not meeting you halfway and being balanced, then it's going to be really, really uncomfortable right now. And you're being called to do what you can to bring balance back in, to bring that equality back into a situation. New moons in general are all about, a new fresh start, a new cycle coming in. So maybe right now you're being prompted to work on certain relationships, to release certain relationships, or to put your foot down in certain relationships, things like that. So that is what this is going to be about. Now, I do want to show you what decks we're using. We're using the Moonology Oracle cards. We're also using the Queen of the Moon Oracle. And we're going to be using the affirmation deck of Miracles Now. So, like always, if you would like to schedule your own personal reading with me, please feel free to reach out. But this is for the general collective at this time and what we all need to know for our highest good and highest light as a whole. So what is the energy regarding the new moon in Libra? All right, I'm going to get all the cards pulled out and then I will show you. All right, and let's see what else we need to know. This is for our highest good and highest light as a collective. Okay. Oh, wow. All right. And then let's see what affirmation we need to know at this time for our highest good and our highest light. Okay. All right. So the first card that we have here, it says a time for healing the balsamic moon. So right now, there is a chance to heal old past wounds, old relationships, cycles, patterns, feelings, things like that, that may have been kind of not acknowledged or not worked through. But right now, it's a time for healing. And so you have to speak up. If there's things that aren't working out or things that are bothering you, things that have caused you a lot of sadness and things like that, then you need to speak up at this time because people can't read our minds. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, depending on what you got going on there, it's one of those times that you have to state what it is that you expect, what you're wishing, what you're hoping for, what you're expecting, because people aren't always going to know that. So if you're wanting to heal a relationship, if you're wanting to heal yourself, then you need to be confident enough to say and verbalize is what I'm saying here, whatever needs to be addressed in this moment. So this could be by actually speaking. This could be by, sending a letter. This could be by a text or whatever you prefer to communicate through. Do keep in mind that we've been having a lot of technology issues, so I would highly suggest just saying it in person versus on text or some email or something like that, because we are in Mercury retrograde and there's been a lot of communication breakdowns. This is common during Mercury retrograde. So be very mindful of your words, how you come across, what you say, because once you say certain things, you can't always take it back. So know that in this moment. Then the next card that we have is the Worm Moon, and it says faith. Okay, so the Worm Moon, I believe, is March, April. I'm not the best at those dates, but it's a time that there is growth. It seems like after a long time of stagnation, a long time of things just not really being too fruitful, that's when hope comes back in. So it's wanting you to know that right now you have to have faith that things are going to work out for your highest good and highest light, that things can be healed, that things can be nurtured. If you're wanting, if I could say words, and you're willing to put in the time, energy, and effort. If you're not willing to work on something, then it's not going to change. But you have to be willing to meet someone halfway. Compromise is what's coming to my mind here. But not just compromise, maybe it's compromise on their side too. Having to be able to say things that are uncomfortable, but knowing that doing that is going to bring it up so that it can be worked through, so that it can be talked through, discussed, and figured out from there, if that makes sense. So having faith, knowing that right now you may not see what's gestating, you may not see all that is going on underneath the surface, but there is a lot of abundance. There's a lot of growth here. There's a lot of potential here for new things to be born, if you will. Then we have sleep is a spiritual practice. So what I'm getting here is that maybe you've been really tired. Honestly, I'm just going to say that. Maybe you've been very worn out, and maybe you've been running yourself ragged because you're just like so consumed by all these other things. Right now, you really need to nurture yourself. You really need to take care of yourself and honor your energy levels. Pamper yourself if you need to, rest if you need to, relax if you need to, things like that. But also, it's very important for you to pay attention to your dreams right now. You might be having dreams that are giving you messages and insight into things that you really need that information, or those messages, if you will, that insight. Because our guides, our angels, our ancestors are super close right now. The veil is thinning, and it's going to continue to thin throughout the month of October up until the 31st, when it is the thinnest throughout the year. My favorite time, the Day of the Dead. Okay, so right now, whether you work with your ancestors, your past loved ones, ghosts, things like that or not, they are going to be around us, whether we like it or not. And you're going to start to feel that. You're going to start to see that. You might be having things already happening that you're like, whoa, that was kind of weird. It's because they're wanting to communicate with you. I'm not saying that always it's a good thing. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I work with my guides, my ancestors, and angels on a daily basis. So, you have to do what you're comfortable with. But I will say that if you're trying to call in guidance and you're trying to call in help, always make sure you do it for your highest good and highest light. Ask for your guides for your highest good and highest light, because sometimes you might get some stuff that comes through that isn't quite what you're expecting, and that may not be for your highest good and highest light. I'm just putting that out there. So just as there's good things out there, there's bad things out there. And just as there's bad and good things, there's neutral things. So, keep that in mind. Only give your energy and let your defenses down for things that you feel comfortable with, is what I want to say here. Because right now you're healing, right now you're kind of raw, right now there's a lot of things that are healing and raw. And there's a lot of emotions that might be tied to it. So make sure that you are honoring that. Do not allow your emotions to get the better half of you. Instead, stay balanced, stay calm, stay grounded, and that's going to help you through this. So I hope that this helps you. I hope it resonates. I love you all. If you need me, please let me know. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And yeah, so if you're on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you all soon. Bye, everybody.